Sisters and brothers, welcome, welcome, welcome. Some of you may have seen my first video. My name is Milton Ali Mahdi. I publish Black Star News, blackstarnews.com. I'm here in New York City. I teach African history at John Jay College in Africana Studies Department as an adjunct professor, and I teach journalism as an adjunct professor at the Graduate School of Journalism at Columbia University. I also do an independent private lecture series. It's not really a lecture. What we do is it's called African History Club. Participants get together and I host it on weekends, on Saturdays. In my first video, I announced that we would start this series of 12 lectures on July the 29th. So far, I have 6 students. I'm looking for 4 additional participants, at least 4 more. And then we would like to start on August the 9th and end October the 28th. It meets every Saturday for an hour and a half. And normally the way it works out is it's online, it's by Zoom. I speak for about 15 minutes or so. I summarize the assignments and then we open it up for discussion. So essentially, everybody gets to participate and speak, and we all get to learn from each other. There is a fee for the 12 lectures. The fee is $250, but I offer discount depending on the individual's budget. So I can accommodate anybody's budget. And we cover from the origins of African origins of civilization. We cover early African civilizations and empires, and then we discuss the slavery era, the colonial intervention, the liberation struggles, independence or so-called independence, or some people prefer to call it paper independence in Africa. And then we discuss the neo-colonial regime that maintains in most of Africa right now, or one can say all of Africa, in fact. And it's via Zoom. So let me quickly go through some of the, first of all, let me give you my email. Because if you're interested in participating, send me an email so I can send you the syllabus. malimadi@gmail.com. So that's MALLIMADI@gmail.com. So this is the second time I'm doing it. Last year, we did 2 series during the summer of last year, and we had about 15 students in each of the classes that we did. So let me quickly go through the books, some of the books that we're going to be discussing. Cheikh Anta Diop. This is the pre-colonial Black Africa. Introduction to African Civilizations by John Jackson. Anta Diop again, Black Africa. General History of Africa, Volume 2, Ancient Civilizations of Africa. And here we'll do the first chapter, which is also written by Anta Diop. We'll also cover some chapters from my book, Manufacturing Hate, How Africa Was Demonized in Western Media, which analyzes 3 centuries of demonization of Africa in Western writing. We'll do Black Genesis, a prehistoric origins of ancient Egypt by Robert Bauval and Thomas Brophy. We'll do The Groundings with My Brothers by Walter Rodney, Africa in History by Basil Davidson, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. This is the 1972 edition, the original, from Tanzania Publishing Press. We'll do Adwa, Empress Taitu, and Emperor Menelik in Love and War. That is my book about the Battle of Adwa and how Ethiopia defeated the invading Imperial Italian army. And that is why Ethiopia was the only African country not to be colonized. We'll do Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Decolonizing the Mind. We'll do Amilcar Cabral, Unity and Struggle. We will do Decolonial Marxism by Walter Rodney. Changing the History of Africa, Angola, and Namibia. And the authors in this book are Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Jorge Risquet, and Fidel Castro. We'll do Democracy and Development in Africa, Claude Ake. We will do Dedan Kimati Speaks by Maina wa Kinyati. We will fight to the last gun. It's about Kenya's resistance, the Kenyan freedom fighters who fought for their land. They were demonized as the so-called Mau Mau by the British. Mau Mau is not an authentic African word. They knew what they were fighting for. They were fighting for their land and freedom. And they call themselves the Kenya Land and Freedom Army. I will do Neocolonialism, the last stage of imperialism, Kwame Nkrumah. We'll do The Darker Nations, A People's History of the Third World by Vijay Prashad. I personally don't use or condone the term third world, but it's a good book. We'll do The Future That Works, selected essays, selected writings of A.M. Babu, who of course was Abdurrahman Mohammedi Babu of Tanzania, who was, by the way, a very good friend of Malcolm X. We'll do Thomas Sankara Speaks. If you don't have this book, you must add this to your collection. We'll do White Malice, the CIA and the Covert Recolonization of Africa by Susan Williams. It's like 600 pages, but you can't put it down. It reads like a novel, but it's all about the no good, dirty work of the CIA in undermining African leaders, including Patrice Lumumba, of course, and Kwame Nkrumah. And we will do the book by my late friend and mentor, The Dead Are Arising, The Life of Malcolm X, Les Payne. Les Payne was a very good friend of mine, the late Les Payne. And the book was completed by his daughter, who is also a co-author, Tamara Payne, who's also a friend of mine. So these are some of the books we will do. As I said, once again, if you're interested in joining this online class that will start on the 9th of August, reach me via mallimadi@gmail.com. That's MALLIMAD like David I @gmail.com. A luta continua. The struggle for African emancipation continues. Hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.